Group action here at the Soccer World Cup in Oman 2024. Action from Group G on the way next. Here we go then for the tip-top kickoff. Please welcome your two sides, Uruguay and Sudan.
And so to Group G and a clash between Sudan and Uruguay. I'm your host Martin Hopkins, and you join us as the two teams come out onto the pitch. And first we will hear the national anthems. So the two national anthems, and let's take a look at Uruguay's squad under coach Carlos Navarro. Uruguay looking to seal their passage into the knockout stages. The man to watch for them is Ignacio Saldana, the forward and captain. Also Nicolas Ordokwi, a strong presence up front, and plenty of interest in this fixture from the locals. We've had Mexico smoothly advance in the previous game. The referees there conduct the toss in the centre of the field between the two captains. Simon Grelek, the main official today. The Sudanese lit up the tournament with a smashing win over England and have lost their two games since, 3-0 to Romania and 2-0 to the champions Kazakhstan. The one to watch for them is the number 9, Walid Mohammed, their captain, the man who scored the winning goal over England. Also Bardam is one to watch out for, and the number 16, Anwas Mohammed. Also the keeper, Osman Elkcharidis. He is a distinctive figure in the goal. Uruguay looks strong in this tournament, and their participation has been enjoyed by the locals as the heat abates a bit. And just take a look at the group. Uruguay at the top, then Romania, and that shows why Sudan needs something from this game to get on to 6 points. Much hotter than the 23 degrees suggests here today. Alongside me in the commentary box, I'm Martin Hopkins. It's Niall McCorn. And as I say that, the sun goes in and we have a little bit of respite.
Never want to wish away the sun, but that's a little bit better for us English cooking in the commentary box.
It's very difficult to understand how it's only 23 degrees.
Yes.
Both games this morning played in searing heat.
Yeah, I've only just been out at pitch level for the last 5 or 6 minutes, and I can promise you it's much hotter than that down there, but shouldn't be too much of an issue for these two sides, Sudan and Uruguay. And you mentioned how Uruguay are in pole position in the group, and that is credit to them, because in a group containing Romania and Kazakhstan, the defending world champions, that is no mean feat.
Nation of only 3 million people, Uruguay. 2 million of them in Montevideo.
And they always exceed expectations in football tournaments, don't they?
They're
always competitive.
2 times FIFA World Cup winners. The inaugural tournament in 1930 and again in 1950. And can they add the 6-a-side crown to that tally? And they're pressing the Sudanese away to our left in these opening seconds. We saw a lightning quick start in the previous game from Mexico. And Uruguay will be hoping to do the same, but Sudan, there's promise here in this attack. Real opportunity, and that is wasteful from Burdam over the bar when it seemed like Anwas Mohammed was better placed.
I think that's our first lost ball of the day, Scoop. But that's what they do, Sudan. They sit in and they'll pick you off on the counter. They did it to England. They resisted. And they were able to soak up the pressure, and they stung them at the other end. They nearly did the same to Uruguay there in the early going.
There's Diaz out to Menza on that far side, wearing the wristbands to Brandon Diaz. And that's well wide. Comfortable for Elchagridis, who seems a particularly sunny character, does Osman. Long ball from him. He does like the long ball. Headed goalwards. A little bit of a breeze drifts across the pitch this morning here in Group G.
Yeah, Sudan kicked off Group G at 11 o'clock at night on Friday with a game against England. Then they played at 7 p.m. at night on Saturday. They also played on Monday evening against Kazakhstan, sorry, Tuesday evening, yesterday against Kazakhstan, 7 p.m. So this is their first day game, the Sudanese, which might explain the lack of rhythm from the stands. No band this morning.
There's the first shot of any note from Uruguay. Victor Rodriguez, the man, just scuffing it wide.
And I'm missing the band, Scoop.
I'm missing the band. Let's hope they make an appearance. They've been one of the key features of the tournament. The saxophonist particularly. Shot from Sudan. That was rather ambitious from Anwas Mohammed. As you were saying, Niall, Sudan played last night, and their captain and main inspiration, Walid Mohammed, limped away from the stadium with ice applied to his shin or his calf, and it was difficult to see how he could be fit for today. He is currently not on the field. He is their main force, creative input, their best player. Sudan sit deep. There's Ordokwi on the far side, low cross into the penalty area. Menza tries the flick, doesn't come off. And Sudan clear their lines. 0-0. And we have played 4 minutes in this Group G clash.
Yeah, we already know England are out of Group G, Scoop. And Sudan looks set to follow them in falling away at the group stages. Uruguay, Kazakhstan and Romania, between those three teams for those two spots in the last 16.
Sudan well beaten by Romania, but a little unlucky against Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Made hard work of it, considering they're the world champions. And Sudan might break here, through the middle.
That's what they do. I mentioned it with that first counter-attack they had. They're just going to soak up the pressure and try and get up the other end as quick as possible when they do turn the ball over. Like you say, they made a good go of it against the Kazakhs yesterday, the world champs.
Here's Brandon Diaz. Bringing the ball onto his right foot, tries to play the give and go. Menza the target over on that far side. Up comes the keeper for Uruguay, Matthias Fernandez. And it's hooked over by Ordokwi. There's Sudan make another change on this near side. It will be Bardam who comes on. Forward player. One of three forwards in the Sudan squad. Anwas Mohammed and Walid Mohammed the others. Long ball forward from the goalkeeper. Half a chance here. There's Menza lifting it over the keeper. Cleared off the line though. First effort from the Uruguayans on target, and it's Menza. Just tried to flick it over Osman El Kharides. But Sudan clear their lines.
Yeah, they do. You used the word lift there to describe that effort towards goal, and that's exactly what happened in return. It was lifted back away from the goal line. Sudan living a little dangerously, not just in terms of defending, but also with the referees by the looks of things. A bit of a talking to over on the far side there.
Long ball forward from Osman El Kharides. Just out of play. You wonder if that weapon could have been better used. Sometimes it's just giving the ball straight back to the opposition. Here's Fernandez.
There is that opportunity. Just see it there on the replay scoop.
As Uruguay come forward once again. Here's Brandon Diaz. Does well. Skips past one. Finds a little pocket of space. The official on this side blows for the foul, for the push. Some local colour over on that far side in the corner. Holding up an I Love Oman banner.
Yeah, the Omanis in action tonight against their Middle Eastern rivals Qatar from Group A.
Fernandez saves. And it's a corner.
Host nation already through, of course, Scoop.
No, it's not a goal kick.
And I'm sure that the stands will be filling up as the day progresses, as the evening draws in. Of course, we're a long way from that stage at the moment, but still plenty of soccer to be played between now and then. Oman versus Qatar for the honour of being group winners, I think.
Yep.
In Group A.
Oman have not blotted their copybook thus far, and there's been a buzz around the place whenever they have played. Here come the South American side. Shot well over from Ordokwi. The Uruguayans have not quite brought their shooting boots yet. They haven't started with quite the same intensity that some other sides have started, say Mexico, earlier on.
Yeah, they've not been as intense as the previous group games they've had either. I mean, they absolutely demolished England, didn't they?
They did. Greater guile shown. Know-how, knowledge from the Uruguayans. England taught a footballing lesson and were lucky to escape with only the 5 against. It's Ahmed back to his keeper. Another long ball upfield. Headed down. That's a good bit of play from the Sudanese. Here's Walid Mohammed. 2 ahead of him. El Badawi's taken up a good position on the right-hand side. Demands the ball, doesn't receive it. And Again, it's another long ball brought under control by Walid Mohammed. Gets a shove in the back, or at least it looked like a shove in the back. He thinks he should have had the free kick.
Seems to look fresh, doesn't he, Walid Mohammed? We were wondering whether he would be fit.
And here he is now. Here's an opportunity. Sudan, can they take full advantage on the break? Over to that far side. Here's an opportunity, and it's spurned from Bardam.
He missed the ball, completely missed the ball.
In a great position. And now Uruguay can counter down this left. To Menza. Slower pace to this game. Brandon Diaz has it. Goes for the shot, saved by Alcaridis. Good effort. But Alcaridis was equal to it. And it's cleared up the other end of the field.
Yeah, Sudan, they're crafty, aren't they? They're really crafty. Just see when Walid Mohammed came away for that counter-attack, there were two options either side of him. And the Sudanese unable to make the Uruguayans pay. Certainly feel that there's less intensity about Uruguay. And I think they need to be wary, because with Romania and Kazakhstan in their group, you don't want to be pulling any punches whatsoever, because those two teams are two teams who are the finalists of the Euro Cup in 2023. Two teams who are tournament veterans.
Great cross there. Oh, and he spilled it at the keeper. Picked up by Walid Mohammed. Mohammed, real chance. Can he get his shot in? Saved by the keeper. Still it's Walid Mohammed. And it drifts into the arms of the goalkeeper. Most impressive spell of the game so far for the East Africans.
Waste. A waste from Sudan. Just put the ball in the goal. I mean, this game, it can be complicated at times, but that's as simple as it gets. The goalkeeper drops the ball. They managed to find the spare man, just smash it in the net. And they didn't. They took an extra touch, and those light blue shirts are back in time.
Here's Menza over on the far side. Little flick from him to Aldokwi. Looks as if he might fancy the shot. Menza takes up a dangerous position. Now it's a good throw out from Sudan. And potentially an opportunity here, breaking quickly. Can't find Walid Mohammed and Bardam. They do look dangerous on that counter. To Diaz, taking the sting out of the game. 0-0, 12 minutes played here in Group G. Up comes Matthias Fernandez, the Uruguayan goalkeeper. A wall of red shirts in front of him. Diaz. Aldokwi, driven ball in, and Menza tried to meet it spectacularly, but was unable to make contact.
I think the camera angles make that look closer than it was. He was nowhere near that, Menza.
Another long ball forward. That's a definite tactic from Sudan, trying to hit the front man early.
Goalkeeper didn't catch that one cleanly either, Scoot, having dropped one previously in this first half.
Victor Rodriguez out to Diaz. Binoli to Diaz. Rodriguez. Diaz advancing forward, finding a bit of space. Foot in from El Badawi. Referee intervenes. And it's going to be a free kick to Uruguay in a dangerous position. Goalless. Can Uruguay make the breakthrough here? Looked a decent side, Uruguay.
Yeah, they have. They've been impressive.
Beating the defending champions in the opening fixture.
They got a bit of luck in that game because, I mean, you can call it luck or quality. They scored 3 absolute pearlers. And it gave them the platform and gave them a bit of a fear factor as well in this group.
Victor Rodriguez strikes it left-footed, gets a second opportunity. There's Menza, draws the save from the Sudan goalkeeper, who throws it out long. Trying to find Rodriguez. And there's a shot from Sudan. Still, they might have a second opportunity. Walid Mohammed, right-hand side, pulls it back. Another shot goalwards And Diaz brings it away. Lightning quick there from the Sudanese.
They're so good at pressing on the counter.
And here's an opportunity off the post. Best chance of the game so far. It's fallen to Uruguay and it cannoned off that far post from Mario Vignoli. Still they have it with Menza. The Uruguayans building up a head of steam. And the referee blows the whistle. And it will be a free kick to Sudan. With just over 5 minutes to go until half-time. Referee indicates exactly where he wants the free kick taken. Another long ball forward from Sudan, cutting out the midfield, drifts out of play on this near side. The distinctive presence of Al Barat Mohammed is on the field. Great shock of dark hair. Forward it comes into the penalty area. Here's an opportunity not taken by Sudan. Great chance that for Mohammed. And that seemed to be in slow motion. He brought it down, shot, keeper saved. Should have done better, really.
The man's so good they named him twice. Mohammed. I mean, Sudan have impressed me in this game. I mean, it's their game plan they've shown all tournament, but I don't think Uruguay are quite wised up to it. And actually, Sudan should be at least on the score sheet. I know Uruguay have just hit the post and have probably had the more of the ball and the better chances, but I think, well, actually, I don't know if I even agree with what I just said. I think Sudan have had the better chances.
You disagree with what you say? Here they are down the left-hand side. There's Diaz. I think Sudan will have the better chances. Diaz. Precise ball, good cross. Brandon Diaz, the man, trying to poke it goalwards. And good low cross that from Uruguay. And will we see another long one from Sudan? Yes, we do. Headed clear by Uruguay. Bardam brings it down. Back to Bardam again. Mohammed with the header goalwards, one of 4 Mohammeds in the Sudan squad. You're a man well versed in footballing habits, Niall. As Fernandez comes forward. Might fancy a shot. Sudan backing off. Clip forward, high, wide and over. Why do the Uruguayans have their first names on their shirts and not the second?
I think it's one of those things in South America, naming customs. A lot of them will have similar surnames.
Here's Menza over on that far side. There's Victor Rodriguez trying to play it into the penalty area.
Yeah, a lot of them will have similar surnames, and it's just a distinguishing factor. For instance, if you think of in 11 aside for Manchester City, Rodri, his full name is Rodrigo, but he has more than one name, so I think it's just a simplifier, a bit like the Brazilians do.
I'm not sure you're allowed to do it in England, are you?
I think you need to make a request in England if you would like anything other than your surname on the back of your shirt. And some people are granted that request, some people are not.
Give me some examples.
Well, Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool just has Virgil on the back of his shirt and not Van Dijk. That's one of the probably primary examples.
Just because he wants it?
Well, he requested that, and there'll obviously be a reason for it.
It's Diaz trying to work a way through, goes down.
Not sure about that scoop. That didn't look like a foul to me. Looked like a clean tackle, but the referee probably had a better viewing angle than I did. I think the Sudanese are making their frustrations with that decision clear. Uruguay will absolutely take it, though.
Yeah, just for a moment it seemed like the counter was on. But 90 seconds go to half-time. As more Omanis filter into the stadium over on the far side. Here is the free kick. Struck goalwards and only narrowly wide from Saldana. Corner ball. Saldana makes his way into the penalty area. Flicked behind once again. It'll be a corner over on that far side. Castro will take it. 0-0. With 30 seconds left of the first half. Out strides Matias Fernandez for Uruguay. Lines up the shot. Decent effort. Cannons off Al-Barar Mohamed. And Sudan clear up to the halfway line. Little nudge there on Mohamed. Al-Barar Mohamed with the distinctive shock of hair. Up he gets. Play continues. Here's Diaz, who's been prominent. And he goes down somewhat theatrically. I don't think the officials are buying that.
No, it was a good tackle. I mean, we'll get it cleared up on the replay, but that was a good challenge, and unless there's an injury in and amongst all of that, half-time whistle is blown. The medical team are being called onto the pitch. I can hear the yelps of the Uruguayan from here, so I don't want to speculate as to what the issue might be.
He does look in some pain. Sometimes when there appears to be minimal contact, can be when a player is in real trouble. It seemed innocuous.
Well, it looked like a fair challenge to me. I hope I haven't jumped the gun, having watched the replay. We'll be able to find out a little more, but he does look in some significant discomfort there, doesn't he?
And it's half-time, so you would think if he wasn't, he would be getting to his feet and getting out of the sun. So, 0-0.
That, to me, tells its story. Those statistics, 4 shots on target for Sudan, pretty much all of them trying to pinch the ball back from Uruguay on the counter-attack. And they've had a couple of opportunities in which the goal was gaping Sudan. I think they should be in the lead in this game. I know Uruguay have hit the post scoop, but for me, Sudan, their chances have been the cleaner, the clearer, and they were wasteful with them. I think that they tried to overplay in that situation, and sometimes you just need to concede. You're playing against a better team, which Sudan are. Uruguay are a better side. They've shown that throughout this group phase. And when that's the case, you just have to score at any cost. And I think they're just guilty of overplaying a little bit, and maybe we'll see some of those examples here as we run through the highlights of the first half. But yeah, all in all for me, I think Sudan should be feeling unfortunate that they're not in front, despite the dominance of the Uruguayans in possession.
Yep, it's been, much of the play has been in the light blue shirts towards that goal away to our left. In terms of passages of play, coherent football, but the Sudanese have been content to sit back.
This was a big chance, really big chance. Just score, shoot. First time, prod it in. They're forced wide, scratchy shot. And there was another one as well. This even bigger. Have to score.
Keeper does well.
Yeah, the effort was straight at the goalkeeper. I mean, that has to go in as well from Uruguay, by the way. We're talking about missed chances for Sudan. That one has to go in the back of the net for Uruguay. You score the goal, you put more pressure on Sudan. They're still going to bank back and try and counter on you. Hits the post from pretty much 3/4 of an open goal. And that's how the half ended. And he's still on the ground, by the way, the Uruguayan player receiving treatment after that challenge.
So, real concern in the Uruguay camp. Sudan have sought some shade away to our right, but the Uruguayans have stayed on the field around their player.
Yeah, bodies will start to creak and ache, especially think of Canada, for example, who played all 4 of their group stage games on consecutive days, Scoop. Some of those daytime games as well. So
in the searing heat, yeah, you can consider the Canadians unlucky, and the stretcher is being called.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you think these games they're only 40 minutes, but in this heat with this intensity, and you're not on for all 40 minutes the majority of the time, but you need to take these things into consideration. And you know, bodies will start to slow down and fatigue the longer the tournament goes on. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of that from Uruguay this morning, but as you mentioned, the stretcher is on the field and we will have a bit of a delay. And wishing him all the best as he leaves the field of play.
Strap, left knee. I can't see who it is. His number has been obscured. Is it Menza?
No, it's not Menza, he's still there.
So the Uruguayan squad reduced in numbers, and we wish the Uruguayan player well. Sudan come out for the second half. It's 10:30 almost, local time. In day 6 of the 2024 Soccer World Cup. More action this morning, don't forget. Niall, you've got a game coming up.
Yeah, I do. Exciting one as well. In Group E, where we've seen some good performances. France in that group, but this game, Poland against Turkey. Turkey winners in their last group stage game. Completely mobbed me, they did, after the game. Don't know if you saw it.
I did see it, yes.
I went over to interview their hero of the day, Engin Rarisholu, and they basically just started throwing me around like I was in a mosh pit or something. And they're enjoying it, the Turks, and you can understand why, but really hard test for them. This game against Poland will be difficult. Poland have turned up with a swagger, and I dare say a bit of an arrogance, actually. From my perspective, I feel like Poland have turned up with that level of confidence that it perhaps does cross over the borderline into arrogance, but sometimes arrogance isn't a bad thing.
Why do you say that? I think I might agree with you.
I think just the way that they turned up, and they were nonplussed about facing France. And up to that point, we had seen France put in a really professional clinical display. They had scored through Djibril Cissé with his first touch of the tournament, and of course with players like him and Abraniak in their side, they are a side to be feared, because people see those names on the team sheet and they think, oh dear, we're in for a game. Then Cissé scores a last minute winner in a friendly against Greece for the French, but they turn up against Poland, and Poland took them to pieces, really. So a clinical display from the Poles. They turned up with the confidence and the arrogance that they were going to do the business, and they have so far. Of course, they do have experience in World Cups, the Polish team, so one of those situations where you just know that against Turkey, they're going to be bang up for it again.
With the Uruguayan goalkeeper, Matthias Fernandez. So what is this second half going to bring? Can Sudan stay in the tournament? Here they come. Had plenty of chances, remember, in that first half. Their tactic very much hit the front men early. Get Walid Mohammed in the action. Get the ball down, get your shots away. Cut out the midfield. Defend well. Here is Walid Mohammed. Shoots goalwards. That one easy for Fernandez. Out to Matthias Menza. But that one wayward. Birdam with the kick in. Not from the designated spot, I don't think. But it's gone the other way.
Yeah, remember, if you're new to watching soccer in this World Cup, it's your first time taking in this brilliant format of the game, then we have kick-ins here, and if your foot is on over the line, I should say, when taking a kick-in and on the pitch, the decision will be turned in the other direction, so the opposition will then take the kick-in from that spot. We do see it quite often. The referees are sharp on it.
And here's a chance potentially for Sudan. Couldn't get on the end of it though, could Birdam.
Brilliant to have some youngsters in the crowd, isn't it, Scoop?
It is.
Got a few school kids in the stadium offering their support, and I think cheering for Sudan.
Well, they're running through their repertoire. The choir away to our left. Here's Victor Rodriguez to Fernandez. Good ball out to that far side. Sudan defending. Matthias Menza twisting, turning. Closed down though by two defenders, and he's forced all the way back to his own keeper. That's great play from Sudan.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Birdam and Mohammed, the men, with the endeavour.
Yeah, great press. Trying to win the ball as high up as possible, give them the best opportunity of that one-on-one situation.
And those two players combining here. Down the left-hand side, here's Birdam. Cannons off the defender, brought clear by Uruguay. One back though by Walid Mohammed, goes one way then the other, and Matthias Menzer is forced to intervene, and it'll be a corner to Sudan.
Bit off the pace this morning, Uruguay, considering how fluid and ruthless they were against England. Don't want to say they've underestimated Sudan, but they've just not quite looked their usual selves.
I'm sensing an opportunity for Sudan.
Yeah, me too.
In this second half.
Yeah, absolutely, Scoop. And of course, Uruguay a man light as well, not due to a sin bin or a red card, but due to that injury that took place right on the cusp of half-time.
A result here for Sudan really would put the cat amongst the Group G pigeons. That's the far side. Decent effort that from Castro. Little bit of frustration. He hasn't featured too much in this game so far, coming on in the second half.
And he caught that really sweetly, didn't he? There's too much lift on it.
And here comes Sudan again into the penalty area. It's an own goal. Sudan have taken the lead.
It has been coming, I think. Not necessarily in terms of possession, but in terms of the quality of chances. The Sudanese have been better, and they haven't taken them yet, much to my frustration in the first half and probably much to theirs. But the frustrated ones now are the Uruguayans, because they've scored an own goal 4.5 minutes into the second half. It's just careless, isn't it?
Victor.
Careless from Uruguay, and they just don't look their usual selves. This is not the same Uruguay side we saw dismantle England and beat Kazakhstan.
5 minutes into the second half. Sudan have taken the lead. An own goal. Victor Rodriguez past his own goalkeeper, Fernandez, who tried to keep it out. Not sure who will be given the credit for that, but a combination of those two. Here comes Sudan again, with Walid Mohammed, their captain, over on the far side.
I mean, is this a repeat of the England performance from Sudan? I think they have been better this morning than they were against England on that opening day, that 11 o'clock kickoff. England had the better chances, missed some golden opportunities. Sudan stung them and won the game 1-0. Seems like this game is following a similar pattern against the Uruguayans.
We did feel that was the way the game was going. Not too far away from the Uruguayan goalkeeper. The choir in fine voice opposite. Are they going to be witnessing? Well, we call it a shock, but I'm not so sure it might be a shock. Yes. Based on what we've seen so far. Here comes Sudan again. Real opportunity, and there's a second. Sudan double their advantage. And are we seeing an unexpected result? Bardam, the man who's got the second, a minute after the own goal. And it is Sudan 2, Uruguay 0.
Remarkable. That splits Group G wide open. And it's really interesting because if you progress through Group G, you will play either the runner-up or the winner of Group B, and that's the group that contains Germany. So we could be in for a blockbuster last 16 game. And could Sudan be one of the sides involved? 2-0 against Uruguay. They've been brilliant. Uruguay have been off it.
And here comes Sudan again. There's another shot from them. Busy goalkeeping.
Well, the tournament has been brilliant, hasn't it? And the support from the Omanis and the Sudanese and the Egyptians, all of the Arab nations, the Gulf states as well, really well represented at this tournament. No Sudanese band, no saxophone, no tambourines or drums, but doesn't seem to matter for them, Scoop, because they're winning 2-0 and they're playing brilliant.
Well, the band have missed out on some performance from the Northeast Africans. And I wonder how much of a factor the injury in the Uruguayan camp was at half-time.
I just think they look a bit sluggish, don't they?
Something has taken the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, they do. Maybe the
Saldana. Sorry, no.
I was going to say maybe the thought of facing Germany will put some wind back in their sails, because if they finish runners-up in this group, that's who they'll be drawn against.
Oh, Elcheridis struggles to gather it, gets it at the second attempt, claims he was fouled.
Yeah, it's
Daniel.
in their interest to win the group, Scoop, because, I mean, Germany have scored the most goals of anyone in the whole tournament, 18 goals so far. Scored 5, 6 and 7 in their games.
Yeah, but as we've seen, you know, Germany looks strong. You'd have to say they're favourites for the tournament. But so often in football, games can hinge on moments. All it needs is a yellow card, a significant moment, a red card even. And things can change in the blink of an eye. A loss of discipline. And Uruguay really have lost their way here this morning. Something's got to change for them. Is Saldana.
Yeah, that win against Kazakhstan won't count for a great deal if they lose here to Sudan. They've got work to do if they're going to bring it back.
Here's Menza, brings it onto his left foot, shoots. Great defending again from the red shirts of Sudan. Menza.
Just hit that first time. Just strike it, Scoop. I don't understand this. I know you're trying to take a touch to settle yourself. Just hit it.
Ask questions later. Here's Menza over on the far side. Puppy, they're involved as well. On in the second half. To Saldana. Captain and number 9 in a deep lying position. And a little stumble over the ball there from Puppy. Saldana trying to galvanise his side. Pokes it down the left-hand side. And massive red shirts in the Sudan penalty area. Back to Saldana as we approach the midway point in this second half, with Sudan leading by 2-0. And a shock on the cards, or is it a shock? Did Sudan offer a glimpse of what they're capable of in that opening fixture? And Saldana shoots, I mean, over and high and wide.
Let's face it, I mean, I think we all knew Sudan weren't going to be progressing through the group, but I think we maybe didn't realise just how tough an opposition they could be. I mean, they lost to Romania, they lost to Kazakhstan, they beat England, so 2 wins, 2 defeats. I mean, we put them on 6 points, the same as Uruguay, the same as Romania, who have played 3 games. Kazakhstan have played 3 games. I mean, it takes this Group G down to the wire.
With a shot from Uruguay. Ordoqui, the man in the orange boots.
Of course, Serbia play Germany at 6 o'clock this evening in Group B. That's a huge game in that group. And of course, will be watched with interest by those in Group G, those of Romanian and Kazakh and Uruguayan persuasion. Germany and Serbia fighting it out for the honour of being group winners in Group B. Both sides have 9 points with 3 wins from their 3 games. And if it's a draw, then Germany will go through as group winners on goal difference. But if Serbia win, they go through in top spot and they'll play whoever finishes second in this group. But to be honest with you, there's no easy game out of this group, is there? Uruguay, if they're one of the teams that progress, will be a difficult test. Romania and Kazakhstan, arguably slightly tougher.
Here come the red shirts again. Another opportunity. Keeper called into action. Anwas Mohammed with the shot. Calm play from Sudan. And low ball upfield. Good ball that Walid Mohammed lays it off. Brings in. Oh, this is a great move. Really good move from Sudan. Flowing football. Anwas Mohammed, the man in the box. And it was a great layoff from Walid Mohammed that started that move. Great shot there.
Good save
from Volts.
Tipped around the post. Good save. We were right behind that, Scoop. Was arrowing towards the corner. Uruguay goal would make this interesting. Really would. 2-1. Pressure on Sudan.
Ball deflects behind. And Osman Elksheikh Driss is down injured. Not quite sure what the problem is. Lifts up his shirt, rubs his belly.
I think the problem is there's only 33 minutes gone, and Sudan are going to come under some pressure from Uruguay.
Mojahid Ahmed inquires as to his well-being. On comes the water and the ice. Sorry, Niall.
Yeah, and I do think if Uruguay score the next goal, then it makes this game fascinating. It's already been really intriguing to watch Uruguay just be at 60% of what they were against England. I think that's me being generous as well. Whereas for the Sudanese, another excellent game plan which has been executed almost to perfection so far.
Elksheikh Driss is all right, and play resumes with Uruguay in possession. Advancing over the halfway line. Puppy available on the right-hand side. Victor Rodriguez might go for goal. Fernandez out of his goal smartly, and it's a good ball out to the left-hand side to Saldana. This is better. A decent effort and a goal. Daniel Puppy for Uruguay has got a goal back, and that changes the complexion of things, Niall. It's 2-1.
Here we go, Scoop. Uruguay have one back, and there's a few minutes to play, and that will make things significantly interesting. Unless Sudan can, well, not quite, but I think Uruguay, that will light a bit of a fire under them. Look at them, they've got a bit more energy already, you can just tell. That's a great pass.
So Uruguay, the wind in their sails, corner over on that far side. Are they going to throw everything at it? A draw would be all right for Uruguay, who've been below par this morning. Rodriguez available on the right-hand side. Fernandez will find him. Those red shirts of Sudan behind the ball. Every single one of them. Here's Fernandez, not opting to shoot. To Victor Rodriguez again. Here's a half chance. Another opportunity, perhaps. Can they get a shot in? And it's in. They're back on level terms. Philippe Volt's the man. And in the blink of an eye, it's 2-2.
Massive goal for Uruguay. Massive goal in this group. They've been poor so far this morning, the Uruguayans. Sudan's game plan has worked to a T, but now a second goal back and still time to grab a winner. And it's a winner which will almost certainly put them through to the knockout stages. They've left it late, but here they come.
Well, you'd think there'd be another goal. Which way is it going to go? Here come Uruguay again. Aldokwi over. Decent opportunity. 2-2. All to play for. Sudan bidding to stay in the tournament. Uruguay looking to smooth their way through into the knockout stages after thus far a below par performance. Rodriguez. It's the penalty area. Bit of snap now about Uruguay's work. Volts is there, the scorer of the equaliser.
Still 3 minutes left, Scoop. I don't think it would be unwise to suggest there'll be another big chance in this.
There's Volts. And there is an opportunity. Aldokwi with the shot. Cleared desperately by Sudan. It's a corner. 3 minutes left in this Group G clash. Sudan want to make the change to bring on Bardam. But they've got to defend this corner.
Yeah, draw no good for Sudan. Even though they're probably going out anyway, they would have wanted a win to sign out of the tournament with.
They've lit up this tournament, and there's a Sudan player down.
Well, hang on a second. Is this a sin bin for... It is a sin bin for Uruguay.
Well, Aldokwi is the man. that's been sin-binned. Referees did well to spot whatever that infringement was.
Something off the ball. Something off the ball.
So, great opportunity. 2 minutes left for play. Sudan, 6 against 5.
I don't understand it, Scoop. The ball's up the right end of the pitch. There's 2 minutes left. Why are you making a sin bin worthy foul when you're the team in the ascendancy and you need the win to earn yourself top spot in the group for arguably a better draw?
Well, all I can say is, Niall, when you're on the field, it's perhaps difficult to undertake such clear-headed analysis.
It's just nonsense, though, isn't it?
Frustration for Sudan.
If you win the group, you get a more favourable draw in the knockout stages. They've been poor today against Sudan, and if they don't win it now because they've got a man less, they've only got themselves to blame. It's foolish.
2-2. Into the last minute. Here's Saldana, goes down, tries to win the free kick, doesn't do so, gets to his feet. Rodriguez to Menza, rolls his foot over the ball. Out it goes to the far side. Menza down this near touchline. Saldana into the penalty area. Those two linking well. Frustration from Menza that he couldn't get on the end of the return pass. A long ball from Sudan to feet though. Given away frustratingly by Mohamed.
Yeah, they're committing more bodies now, Sudan. It plays into Uruguay's hands.
Won it back again, breaking with intent. Some promise in this attack. Great defending from Volts. Kick in on the near side to Sudan. Have they got the belief? There's Bardam into the penalty area. Real opportunity, and there's a goal. There is the goal. It's Mohamed. It's 3-2.
So good they named him twice. Mohamed. Brilliant for Sudan. Uruguay punished by unnecessarily having a man sin-binned. Silly thing to do when there was no need for it. They saw themselves reduced in numbers, and Sudan have punished the Uruguayans. It's not over yet though. I'm sure Uruguay will try and come again at the other end.
What an effort from Sudan to stay in the tournament.
And the goalkeeper's come out here.
And here's an opportunity. Can they seal the win? Yes, they can! What drama! Jubilation over on that far side. Bardam has sealed the win. It's 4-2. And there's an upset in Group G. The North Africans are going to be staying in the tournament.
Stunning from Sudan. Stunning. I mean, they will have to rely probably on results elsewhere to have any chance, really. But what a way to sign off if it is to be their last game of the tournament. They've been brilliantly backed in the stands. They've acquitted themselves superbly on the pitch. Game plan to perfection in the first 30 minutes of the game. Uruguay tested them, teased them, stung them. But they're the ones now on the back foot. They have been off the pace today, Uruguay. And some silly decisions. I mean, the sin bin's changed everything, but late drama, late excitement. It's why the Soccer World Cup is absolutely unmissable.
Whilst Volts was off the field, it was 2-2. He went off. And another save there from Fernandez.
I would go as far to say as the sin bin is cost Uruguay. He's cost his team.
Well, you offered clear-headed analysis, but there wasn't clear-headed thinking from the Uruguayans. There's the shot. Rodriguez gets on the end of the loose ball. There's a chance. Great save from Elche Riedis. Back it comes again, and some athleticism. The ball's bundled over the line. I think the referee's going to...
Is he giving a foul on the goalkeeper?
Indicate it is a foul. It might be a goal.
Well, Uruguay have the ball on the spot. Well, let's see what happened here. Scoop lifted in towards. The keeper does, well, does he have control of it? I'm not sure he does.
He has two hands on it, but does he have control of it?
Yeah, I can see why a goal would be given. I can equally see why a foul would be given. We're checking this over with the RVAS system, the referee's video assistance system. You can see them there, the bottom right of your screen, the match officials, which is incidentally just to our left-hand side here in the commentary box, so we get a good view of all the replays and all of the action. I mean, he doesn't really head the ball, does he? He does move his head towards the ball gently.
He bundles it, I think, is the term I would use.
I don't think the goalkeeper has full control of that ball.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what they can see on the video system. Here is the decision. It's a goal.
He's given it.
It's a goal.
So 4-3 and more than 3 minutes into added time.
So we are well into, we're into the 24th minute of the second half, 4 minutes into stoppage time. And how much time is there going to be left for play? The referee wants the kickoff taken again. The Sudanese lead by 4 goals to 3.
Smart play.
Just booted up the other end, and there it is! Sudan have won! A fine performance from them, and it's been a 7-goal thriller, and the North Africans have prevailed. It's Sudan 4, Uruguay 3.
Superb. Not just from Sudan, but for Sudan. For many of these players who are based here in Muscat, they've come here to work in Oman and to live in Oman, but they get to wear the shirt of their national side and represent it with pride and with purpose, and with an impressive 4-3 win over Uruguay. They were outstanding game plan wise, executed to perfection in the first half. Bit of a wobble in the second, but when it counted, they took their chance up the other end. Uruguay frustrated with the match officials, but the sin bin cost them, and it could cost them in terms of the draw they get in the last 16. What a game. Uruguay 3, Sudan 4.
And look at those statistics, the overall shots, 35 shots on goal in this game, 20 for Uruguay, 15 for Sudan. Uruguay a little more profligate though, 7 on target, but 10 efforts on target for Sudan, who hold the overall superiority where it truly matters in terms of goals. 4-3 they have won. It's their second win of the tournament. They started off with a 1-0 win against England, lost the next 2 games by 3-0 and 2-0 respectively, but have now beaten Uruguay. They are now on 6 points, and we'll see how things shape up to see if there is a future for them in the tournament. They will depend on results elsewhere, but they've made a great effort to stay. In many ways their performance merits it. Uruguay started by beating the champions 3-2, Kazakhstan winning 5-0 against England. So 6 points for them, 6 points for Sudan, who have a goal difference, an equal goal difference. So let's see how things progress in terms of the overall tournament. We've got Turkey against Poland up next. Niall McCorn's on the pitch, and he will seek to talk to one of the protagonists in this game as we just look at all the chances. The video editor's got his work cut out, and we're just seeing some of the Sudanese chances and jubilation on the faces of the Africans. Great effort from them. So that concludes things in Group G. Next up here in the 2024 Soccer World Cup, it's Turkey up next against Poland.
Exciting is Group G here at the Soccer World Cup. Even more exciting because Sudan have just won against Uruguay by 4 goals to 2. I've got Sohail from the Sudan side here with me. Amazing game, another amazing win for your team.
Yes, Yeah, Alhamdulillah for the win. Yeah, we really deserve it because the team worked hard, especially the first time this team playing in Soccer tournament, even the first time they're playing six-a-side. So I'm glad me and the coach staff, Karim, he managed to give them the tactic how to stand in this field. Playing with the champions with Kazakhstan and playing with Romania who were the third. And we were able to be with them and fight with them until the end of the time. I'm proud to be with this team. And thank God for today's win. Alhamdulillah, 6 points. We'll just wait for other results so you see you can go to the next round or not.
And just finally, your game plan for these games has been excellent. You've sat back, you've waited for the counter, and it's worked.
Yeah, we play with our own abilities because, as I mentioned, that those players the first time playing in six-a-side, so we play with our own abilities, wait them, play on other teams' mistake. That was our tactics.
Congratulations to Sudan, another victory in the tournament, this time against Uruguay, 4 goals to 2. Group G looks unbelievable.